Yeah, but then you gotta define what a cry is, right? Because
Well,
there's different
usually it's
levels.
him getting up and he's like his little, or his little,
Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
Hey everybody, welcome back to what is going to be the penultimate episode of Fade or Fly Season 1 for our NFL picks. We are 5 days away from the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas, which, fun fact, just about 20 years ago, Las Vegas was denied having a nationwide advertisement played in the Super Bowl for Las Vegas tourism. You might have heard this ad before, the What Happens Here Stays Here ad. It was denied being played nationwide TV. NFL wants to distance itself from Las Vegas for so long, and now ironically the Super Bowl is being played here in Las Vegas in the Las Vegas Raiders home stadium. So everything changes. You're 20-something now and you think you know it all. Your world's going to be really rocked in your 40s when everything you know is upheaved, because it's a different world here in Las Vegas for sports betting, but we're excited to have it. Today on the show, we're going to be having the Feathers expert analysis and pick for the matchup itself, but we're going to be focusing primarily on this giant novella put out by South Point, very similar to the ones put out by Westgate as well. These are what's known as prop bets, and these are what's known as the fun bets to me. And every year, one of my big things with the Super Bowl, watching at our party, is just loving to try and keep track of like the 30 or 40 random bets I make, wondering if it's even possible to make money. But we're going to be looking at those today. And
it's a great day it's Super Bowl Sunday is a great day to degen it up.
Oh, this is DJing at its finest. I mean, we already have one coin toss that I lost, and I've already bet heads on the main coin toss, so we'll see. I think I'm like 0 for 4 on the last 4 years on the coin toss. So in 50-50s, I run really bad. If it's 50-50, I get it wrong almost 100% of the time. So enough of that. Let's hop into it. Guys, one goal we have, if we can, before the season is up, before the Super Bowl starts, little goal. We'd like to try and make the push for 600 subscribers. So if you've been watching the channel or stumbled across us today, we welcome you. You give the video a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing. We'd like to take you with us after this. A little bit of a break for us. We'll be back in March with a lot more Vegas-related items, doing a new weight loss challenge, getting ready for next season. Going to be our off-season workout and weight loss challenge, and just taking you around Vegas, seeing some of the casinos pretty soon. Bye-bye Tropicana in April.
Yep.
And
make way for the Oakland A's.
Maybe. We still don't even know. Baseball's a crazy sport. And then, of course, a longtime resident of Las Vegas, the Mirage Hotel and Volcano, will be making the way for a giant guitar on the Strip for the new Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So
a lot of mixed feelings on that one. A lot of people are, change is tough, but that volcano and that spot's pretty iconic. And I think when it's all said and done, the guitar will be cool. But I just feel like it's like it's the end of an era. Like, you don't want to hold on. There's not many iconic type casino setups left anymore. The Luxor's one of them. And,
Tropicana is the last of the really vintage 5 or so. I mean, even Sahara is not the original
kind of
Sahara.
boring though looking, right?
Tropicana is dull as heck.
Yeah.
That's why it's going away.
But places like the Flamingo, you want to keep that because like the Flamingo is like seriously like old school. It's like the closest thing to like downtown vibe
on the Strip.
The Strip. Otherwise, they're all like modern glass and.
Well, that's why it's interesting to have a new kind of niche market with the hotel, having a guitar for the hotel. That we're going back. We've gone to the corporate, tall, colorful, fancy structures, and now we're going back to the little bit of like artistic design and like fun design, I guess you could say. But with that said, yeah, lots of Vegas coming your way, March and beyond, and then back to football before we know it next September. So we're going to get into the picks. I mean, there are so many picks. We could be here for 4 hours. So there are time codes down below where it kind of breaks up because just like the sheet's broken up, there are team props, player props, quarterback props, tight end props, kicker props. We tried to find the ones that we thought were the most fun, could give you some value, could give you something to root for during the game. It is very front heavy with the team and the game props, and then with a few of the more popular running back and quarterback and wide receiver props at the end. So check the time codes down below if you're looking for a specific thing. And if you have any questions about any props you see, leave a comment down below. And let's just jump into it. It's going to be a long one, but this is going to be some good stuff.
But yeah, so the plan is we're going to go through some prop bets. And at some point in between, I'm going to give my game pick analysis on who I'm going to be taking, who I love, and that sort of stuff against the spread, of course. And that'll be, like I said, funneled in within the prop bets. So,
and we're going to be each picking our own, and we're going to be keeping a tally here. So the way we're going to mark it down is if we're going to take turns. We already flipped a coin. Jason won, so he's going to read off the first prop, and then he's going to get to pick his side of that prop, and with a little explanation probably why. And then I'll either be for or against it, and we'll trade turns. We're going to keep score, tally it up at the end of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so we'll do a point system too, because obviously a lot of these props, there's favorites and underdogs, right? So they're not all even pick. So if it's an even Steven pick 'em, then it'll just be a point each if you get it right. But if you end up taking the underdog, which is anything that's plus money, compared to the other one that's minus money, you'll get 2 points if you pick the underdog. So there's a benefit to going for the underdog. And then at the end, all the prop picks we do will tally up the total points. The winner, the loser has to wear the other team's, decked out swag. So he's going to be decked in, basically, and it'll be for week 1 picks of next year, September, and that means he'll be decked out in Green Bay Packer outfit because he's going to definitely lose to me. Of course. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's hoping that I'll be in a Giants, outfit, which I'm sure I can find cheap, very, very cheap at like a.
Well, let's get to that first one. What do you got, Jason?
I'm going to guess that gear comes like pretty inexpensive. So
we get the joke. The Giants suck. I never said they were not a good team. I never said they were a good team. So but they're my team, damn it. So. But
anyway, so here we go. Let's get into it right away. I actually will read up the prop, and I am actually going to due to I won the toss, I'm going to yield him to make his first pick.
Oh, you're deferring to me.
I'm deferring to him to make the first pick of
all right.
the thing, and then we'll alternate back and forth. So
read it off to me.
The very first prop, let's get it going, of the Super Bowl, number 58 is, will there be a successful 2-point conversion? And it's yes, plus 200, no, minus 240.
The way these two teams score or don't score, with the Chiefs averaging under 22 points a game. You know what? I'm gonna go with the sharps back in the sports book. I'm gonna say there will not be a 2-point conversion. Okay. Successful 2-point conversion.
I, on the other hand, love the idea that there's going to be a 2-point conversion with analytics these days and everything else. I know there's going to be multiple attempts probably for a 2-point conversion, perhaps. So I think that yes, there will be a 2-point conversion that comes into play in this game, and that's at plus 200. So if I hit that one, here we go. Next prop bet. What will the opening coin toss be? And I got to pick first now, and I'm going to go. Tails never fails, baby. We're going to go tails. Feather says tails.
Well, I actually already did bet this one, and I did take heads, so that's just natural. I mean, I'm going to have to take heads on that one, obviously. Literally a 50-50 prop, right?
Okay.
So and the coin land on its side?
Huh?
I want that. Will the coin land on its side?
That's not an option. Which team will win the opening coin toss? Well, 49ers or Chiefs?
I mean, this is literally a coin toss. This is literally a coin toss. This is literally a coin toss. There is no strategy involved in this whatsoever. So I'm going to go with the Super Bowl party home game favorite, the 49ers. Unless enlighten me if I'm wrong, there's a strategy to who will win the coin toss.
Now, winning is obviously if it's okay. I'm going to go with the Niners are going to go with tails, and they get to call it. I'm going to go with the Niners as well, because they're going to call tails. They're going to win it, and they're going to defer. All right, here we go. Next one. Team to score first in the game. 49ers minus 115 or Chiefs minus 105. Mike, fire away.
But you know what? The 49ers are not a first-half team. And I'm not sure with the nerves Brock Purdy might have. He's a down-to-earth guy. I think maybe he doesn't realize the depth of the situation he's in because he's just so down-to-earth. I think the Chiefs are going to be the first team to score in the game.
All right, so Mike says the Chiefs are going to be minus 105. And I adamantly disagree. I think the Niners are going to get the score first. Yeah, simple as that. So we're going to go with 49ers to score first. Myself and Mike on the Chiefs. Here we go. Yep. Shauna is not going to be happy.
I was
with
just
your
thinking I got to
selection.
apologize to my wife because every
Yep.
time I go against the 49ers, that's another night on the couch for me.
So, next one. First score of the game will be touchdown for -150 favorite or any other score for +130. I'm going to go touchdown -150.
Okay. Just because it's for fun and it's extra points if I get this right, I'm going to go any other score.
Sucker play.
Sucker play.
Team to score last in the game. 49ers -110, Chiefs -1. Coin toss. Team to score last in the game. Mike?
I'm going to go Chiefs again just because I think the Chiefs are going to be playing from behind and the 49ers will be just holding them off towards the end of the game. And when the Chiefs are down by 10 or so and they get that last score of the game, and the 49ers are just going to run the clock out.
So Mike has the Chiefs. And I am going to go with the 49ers because they will get the last score of the game. I'm not going to say what that means in this scenario, but will either team score 3 unanswered times, and this is excluding extra points and 2-point conversions. So what anyone doesn't know what that means, not it excludes 2-point conversions and extra points. So 3 scores in a row will be 3 field goals in a row, a touchdown and 2 field goals.
So if you score a touchdown, convert a 2-point conversion, and a field goal,
so if the game starts out
3
3 field goals, 9-0 San Fran, that's 3 in a row. If it starts out with the Chiefs out of the way, Chiefs scored 2 touchdowns and a field goal to start, and they're up 17-0. That's 3 in a row. Will that happen at any point within the game? 3 unanswered times. I'm going to go, yes, -170. I think that there will be a point where one team scores 3 times in a row unanswered, and so I'm going to go yes.
I actually am betting this one with real money, and I'm going no.
Okay. No? All right, next one. Will there be points scored in the last 2 minutes of the half? Yes, -340, heavy favorite. No, +280.
You know what? It's me, right?
Yep.
I'm 2 for 2 this season on this prop bet in regular season games, betting that no, there will be not any points scored in the last 2 minutes of the first half. So I think I'm going to ride that train and go with no as well on this one.
Okay. No? I'm going to go yes. There will be points scored
Of the first half.
Of the first. 100% yes. All right. Next one. Last score of the game, excluding extra points and 2-point conversions. Going to be a touchdown for -110 or any other score for -110.
But literally, so any other score would have to be either a safety or a field goal, basically.
Correct.
There's nothing else.
For the last score of the game.
Okay.
I'm going to go to last score of the game is going to be a touchdown. -110.
Hey, I'm following along on that one. That just makes the most sense to me.
Okay. All right. First touchdown scored in the game. Passing touchdown, -160, or any other TD.
I'm trying to decide if early on in this game it's going to be a lot of air warfare or it's going to be Pacheco and McCaffrey feeling out the defensive lines. And I feel like they might want to be getting the run game going early to open up the passing game later, both teams. So I'm going to go any other touchdown.
Okay. Mike goes any other touchdown. I am going to go passing touchdown. I think the first score of the game, or not first touchdown score of the game, will be a passing touchdown. -160. I could get a 2-pointer there if he's right. She won't be.
Mm-hmm.
He could be. He's good at this. Next one. Team to score last in the first half. Team to score last in the first half. 49ers -110, Chiefs -1. You're going to go 49ers to score last.
I'm going to use what's known as a poker randomizer. Take my selection. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Which half will have more points scored? First half, even money. Second half, plus OT, -120.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I almost feel like even though you're giving up the edge there, you're getting extra value if it goes to overtime. You might actually have extra quarters to score in.
The extra time frame, yeah.
Time frame. But I think with the 49ers being a second half team, that's my basic logic on this. I think it's going to be slow in the beginning, and then the 49ers are going to turn it up in the second half. So I think definitely more points in the second half, which means you're probably taking first half.
That being said, the tricky part of that, the caveat is Chiefs have, in many spots this year, came out firing and then did what they did against Baltimore and got shut out in 0. So it's kind of going to be like, the tale of two teams, whereas the Chiefs tend to fall short in the second half. And
fair enough. No, that's why we're talking about this. It's
so
interesting.
It's a tough call. I'm going to say that, you know what? I'm going to go with the first half. I'm going to go with the first half because that's worth 2 points because it's the underdog. And I know that sometimes you get off a slower start, but I think that I'm going to go with the first half. I'm going to go against the grain a little bit here.
The way I envision this game happening, I don't see it being a fast start. I see it being two teams feeling each other out. I don't know. That's just my gut feeling from watching the whole season.
Yeah, the only thing is I think that if one team jumps out, especially if it's the Niners, I think they could grind the game out in the second half with running, slow down the tempo a lot. So I guess it's going to be game flow beyond. That's going to set the tone. First turnover of the game will be, and it says if no turnover, that's our no action. So first turnover of the game will be interception -110 or fumble minus.
And you are picking first.
I'm picking first, and I'm going to say the first turnover of the game will be interception.
Yeah. I have to go with that just from the sheer fact. I don't think McCaffrey and Pacheco are going to be they're going to be doing everything to protect that ball. And obviously, I think you got much more of a chance with the way Mahomes and Purdy have played that there could be some opportunities for the defense to pick it off much more than I see either of the two top running backs having butterfingers or letting the ball get punched out.
The only thing is that it's not just the running back. So, I mean, it could be, the Niners have a really good defense. So, any Bosa or Young could knock the ball out and Mahomes could fumble in both directions.
Exactly.
So, it could be a quarterback fumble or running back fumble. But that being said, I think it's going to be interceptions. I think that one of them are going to get a little bit too cute. It might even be a case where it's an unforced interception based on a tip play. I think interception is going to be first in this game because I think that there's going to be quite a bit of passing in the game. So, okay, well, we're on the same page there. Next one. Will there be a roughing the passer penalty called in this game? And the penalty must be accepted for it to count. So will there be a roughing the passer penalty called in this game? Yes, +140. No, -160.
I think at some point Patrick Mahomes will need to get bailed out or will cry enough or call the ref over with his little Garcon ordering. Yeah, I think there will be. Just all honestly, this is like I first thought it was Brady. Because Brady, I almost assumed that it was going to be like a guaranteed thing. And I see Mahomes getting the same kind of treatment. So I think there will be some excitement from the players, and they're going to hit a little bit too hard. They're going to go a little bit too hard at Mahomes. Obviously, I believe it's going to be called on the 49ers.
They should have had a prop bet. How many times is Mahomes going to cry for a call? Because over under 10.
Yeah, but then you got to define what a cry is, right?
Well, usually it's him getting up and he's like his little wee, or his little wee, So he or he's on the ground and he's like. So one way or another, Mahomes, his theatrics is going to get him a call, and there absolutely will be a roughing the passer called in this game. I'm with you. All right, next one. Team to punt 3 times first in the game. 49ers -105, Chiefs -115. First team to punt 3 times in the game.
Well, I'm going to actually use some of the logic you used in the previous bet against you, and I'm going to go with the Chiefs because, like you said, the Chiefs might score in the beginning and then grind to a halt and have to keep punting.
Okay.
I think it's more likely that they will have to be turned up, especially with their low scoring for the season.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Chiefs are going to be the first to get the 3, without a doubt. And total quarterback sacks in the game. Total quarterback sacks in the game. We got over 4 for -110 or under 4.
I don't like this one. I like 4.
That's a push.
What I'm saying is, I feel like if it was a 3.5,
I'm surprised they actually open up the door to have the push.
Yeah, you're right. Because normally it's something like a number of sacks or total, like we'll see one later on, number of completions.
I would have thought they would have been like 3.5 or 4. Now this one opens the door for a push. So,
you know what? Because I feel like it's going to be 4 or under, and it's going to be a push either way, I'm going to go with under 4 and hedge it. That I might actually come out ahead on that one.
Yep, I'm going to go with the over, though. So you're going under, I'm going over.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be some pressure.
And as far as our internal betting, it's the same odds. So basically, it's a 1 point either way. So not really giving up much there.
Yep, 100% over 4 sacks in this. Total interceptions by both teams in this game. Over 1.5 for plus 130 or under 1.5 for minus 150. We're going to go over 1.5. We're going to take the plus money and over 1.5 on interceptions for the game. I think there'll be 2 at least total.
I could see both teams. I could see both quarterbacks throwing 1 interception in this. Because Mahomes has not been, he's been less than perfect this year. And Purdy against Detroit, he had a couple of ones where he was stepping back, threw off the wrong foot, across the field, lobbing it into traffic. And obviously, I know a thing about teams that lob the ball up there and win Super Bowls.
Okay.
I'm actually, you know what? That's going to be an actual money bet for me, too.
Mike's on the feather train. All right, here we go. Total fumbles lost by both teams in the game. Over 1.5, plus 250. Under 1.5, minus 300.
If I was
300.
If I was going to bet that, like money bet, I'd probably go over just because of the odds on that. Like, it's not a big deal. Otherwise, I'd just pass it. But I'm just going to hedge it right. I'm just going to say under. I'm just going to take the safe route on this one.
Take it under?
Yeah.
All right, Mike goes under.
I don't see it happening. Again, for some reason, I feel like this is going to be a very secured running game. I don't think either QB is going to get a fumble. But if anybody, it's Purdy.
QB or running. I mean, strip fumbles, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go over. I like the plus 250. Give me the extra 2.5 money. Don't love to bet 100, win 250. Over 1.5. Love it. And we're going to go with that. I'll take over 1.5. Mike will take under half. Next one. Team to score 10 points or more first. 49ers minus 115. Chiefs minus 105.
You're first.
We are going to go Niners. First team to get the 10 or more be the 49ers. Out. Start out faster, unlike what they've been doing throughout the year. They're going to come out fast and get the.
And again, I'm by far not the sharp better in this one, but just based on the logic that the Chiefs tend to be a lower scoring team this season, I'm going to go with the 49ers as well in this one. That's my logic behind it. I feel like if there's only going to be 21 odd points for the Chiefs to get, I don't think they're going to get to 10 that fast.
Longest score of the game will be a touchdown plus 160 or a field goal minus 180. So basically, it's implied that, say, a field goal is 45 yards and that's a long field goal. You're saying that if you take touchdown, that touchdown's good.
That's a fun bet.
That is a fun.
It's a fun one just to root for. I think. Are you picking first on this one? I think you are.
It's you.
Oh, it's me. I'm gonna go touchdown. I'm gonna go with the plus money play on this one. I could see McCaffrey catching a pass, turning it in for like a 50-odd yard run. Not that there wouldn't be a field goal of 50 plus, but I think it's less likely to have to get to that point.
I'm gonna play it safe. I think the field goal, because I think there's going to be a 50-plus yarder, and the likelihood of a 50-plus yard play is minimal. It's possible with these two teams.
And when you have Harrison Butker kicking for the Chiefs, they're not against having to do that.
Well, they're in a dome, so there could be a 60-yard game.
That's true.
So what will be more? Longest made field goal or total points in the game?
So given that Vegas has it set at 47.5 right now for total points, I have to assume, are they going to kick at least a 48-yard field goal? I know we're going against the actual score of the game, but if I have to go by the estimated score by all the AI computers in the back of the Westgate, saying 47.5 for the, I'm gonna go longest field goal made, and that might be a Michael money bet, like actual money bet. I think that's a fun one that I'll just light $10 or $15 on fire with.
In this game, I'm going to take the total points.
Of course you are.
So we're gonna go total points in this one, and I think that they're going to the total points will exceed the longest field goal. Total sacks in the game by the 49ers defense: over 2.5 sacks plus 170, under 2.5 sacks minus 190. I'm going to go over 2.5 sacks. I think that this offensive line for Kansas City is solid, but I do believe that this defense that is really good on paper, but has had its struggles over the last X amount of weeks, is going to come together. I think Chase Young and Bosa are gonna play hard, and I think they're going to create some frustrations for this Kansas City offense, and they're going to hit the over plus 170. Boom.
Not that it's related to the prop itself, but I think the 49ers are going to need to put that kind of pressure and get those hits. They know they got to get those hits on Mahomes in this game. So I kind of tend to go with the over as well in this one. So moving on to the quarterback props now. These are specific props to Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy. We tried to focus on the ones that are things you can cheer for pretty much all game long. So we're going to skip all like what will the first action be, the first interception, the first pass, but we're going to go with the totals for the game. So, all right, so we're going to total completions in the game first by Brock Purdy. This line is set at over or under 20.5. Over is minus 120, and under 20.5 is the even.
I'm going to go over 20.5. He's going to complete over. My feeling.
I have to agree with that. I think there's going to be quite a bit of passing in this game as well, even if they're dink and dunks to McCaffrey to keep that ball moving. This is over 25.5 is even, under 25.5 is minus 120. This is me. I got to pick. How do you not go over? He's going to have to pass that ball. I think both quarterbacks are going over.
I'm going to go under. I think he's going to fall short of 25.5, so I think he's not going to get to 26. I think that they're going to lean on Andy Reid's going to run the ball a little bit more this game, and I think that fall short of that 26. So
fair enough. All right, sticking with the theme of passing, total gross passing yards in the game by Brock Purdy. Line is set at 242.5 yards. Minus 110 either way. I am going to go with under. Under on this one.
Okay, so
and I'll probably get burned by one dump off pass to McCaffrey at their own 30, which he'll run in for 70 yards right there and get 25% of that for him. But
I'm going to go over in this one. I think that Brock Purdy's going to get it done. He's going to break the 250 threshold. How far? I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to get to 300, but I think that he's going to put up in that range of 250 to 310. Be in that little bubble, but it'll definitely break the 250 threshold.
All right, and let's look at the same thing for Mr. Patrick Nuggies Mahomes. Set at 260.5 yards. The over is minus 115. The under is the favorite at minus 105. I feel I'm doing this backwards now that I think about it, but I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say under as well.
Okay. In this game, I think that they're going to have a few big plays, but they're going to have issues and fall short and go for field goals, or even maybe turn the ball over on a fourth down situation. So that being said, Mahomes has had his struggles going over 300 this year, but I think that he's going to be over 260. He's going to get over 260 this game, but it's not going to be enough.
All right, and let's look at the favorite one, total touchdown passes by each quarterback. It's 1.5, starting with Brock Purdy. Over 1.5 is minus 135, and under 1.5 is plus 115. I'm going to go over on this one. I know it's the favorite, but I just feel like it's going to have to happen.
Easy peasy going to go over just because I feel like one of those touchdown passes could go to Christian McCaffrey in a dump-off situation where he breaks a few tackles.
And between Samuel and Ayuk, it's just not like there's too many weapons there to not be getting touchdowns.
Plus some of those passes that could happen where it's like a shovel pass forward. That could be the deep. So definitely over.
Now, and the more interesting, Patrick Mahomes at 1.5. Over is minus 130. Under is plus 110. But I think 2 might be the most he possibly does throw, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is more of a one passing touchdown game and the rest are field goals and rushes. So I'm gonna go with the underdog and go with under.
I'm gonna go over 1.5. I think that's gonna be the sweet spot. I think they're gonna get 2 touchdowns, most likely. I don't get in held, but I think over is pretty safe in this. Go with over favorite, but not by too much. I think get the 2 touchdown passes.
All right, and the last one, which I found these ones very interesting, the total rushing yards by each quarterback. Brock Purdy, known for his rushing prowess, 12.5 yards, over -115, under -105. I mean, he might get 12.5 yards by accident. That's the thing. Like, he might scramble out of the pocket like 2 or 3 times and pick up 4 yards here and there, but even that wouldn't add up to 12.5. I'm going to go under. All
right, Mike goes under. This is an easy one. I'm going over. If you guys watched the Detroit game, that guy made dreams happen. The man rushed for 50 yards, which is like the equivalent of Mahomes rushing for 120. So, I think that he's going to be able to manage 12.5 yards. I think that they're going to have to respect solid receivers. There's going to be some coverage situations where he's going to have an opening, and I think 12.5 yards over that is going to be no problem. This is one of my big money picks. I really do like Brock Purdy going over 12.5 yards. It gets really dicey, though, all of a sudden. I think he's going to be somewhere in the 20-plus yards, so you don't have to worry about him being, like, teetering, and then you do a couple kneel downs and lose yards. That's tricky, but I think in this case, he's going to have enough of a cushion over 12.5 yards that you can feel good. Taking the 115, Brock Purdy, over.
And then your choice on the same bet for Patrick Mahomes, it's at 25.5 yards. It's same line either way, -110.
Yep, I'm going to go over as well, 25.5 yards for Patrick Mahomes. He's going to do his classic, act like he's going to go out of bounds, but not go out of bounds. And he'll do that a few times. And there'll be a few coverage situations where he's going to have a opening in the middle, and he'll take what he can get. He's pretty good at doing that most times, and he's a lot healthier than he was last year going into the Super Bowl. So over for me.
I think just one thing, too, is he's a quarterback who's looking to run if he needs to. I don't think Brock Purdy is on that level in any way, even though he obviously did something against Detroit. It's his lowest possible option to have to put feet in gear, even though he can. But Patrick Mahomes always is weighing that as an option, so I think there's more chances for him to add up those yards. And like you said, the little out-of-bounds turn-up.
You're going over?
I'm going over. All right, so that's the end of our quarterback props. We're going to move on to running back props. So first, we're going to start with total rushing yards in the game by Christian McCaffrey. It's at 89.5, -110 either way. Sir, you get the pick first on this one.
I'm going to go over.
I think you have to go over.
89.5, yep.
I think the game is going to rely a lot on this man's shoulders and back, and they know it. And then, Jason, let's go ahead and take a look. How many total rushing attempts will it take Christian McCaffrey to get over 89.5 yards? They have him at 18.5, again, -110 either way. Total rushing attempts, it's interesting. I feel like he's the workhorse. I feel like it's going to be in his hands. Over. How's it not over? It has to be over.
Over, okay.
If it's not over, I want to hear your reasoning behind it.
I'm going to go. I feel like if there's a vulnerability there with that Chiefs running defense a little bit, so I'm going to go over as well.
And let's look at the other side of the ball. The total rushing yards by Isaiah Pacheco will be 65.5 yards. Over -115, under -105. I like the over. Do you not think he has to? He's been carrying him a lot.
Pacheco's going to go under, in my opinion. So I'm going to go under. I think he's going to float somewhere between the 40, 55-yard area. I think he's going to fall short.
All right, how many rushing attempts will Isaiah Pacheco have in the game? 16.5 is the line, -110.
Over under 16.5. We're going to go under. I think that they're going to have to bend and run a little bit at one.
Well, you kind of, I think for the same reason, I think at some point they're going to be playing from behind and they're going to have to be throwing that ball more than rushing it. So I think it's going to slow him down, going to cut into his attempts. And sure, he might catch a pass and rush it a bit further, but I think as far as just getting the ball in his hands and running, I think under 16.5 is a good bet. And moving over to the tight ends, we're just going to give you two on this one, going with everybody's favorite player on the Taylor Swift Chiefs. It is Travis Kelce, total receiving yards by Mr. Swift. Will it be over 70.5 or under -110?
For them to have any kind of chance to win the game, Kelce's going to have to go over, and I think they're going to be looking to get him the ball. And this could be one of those ones where he's going to probably get one of those bigger chunk plays I talked about. So I'm going to go with over 70.5 for Travis Kelce.
I definitely think Mahomes is going to look to him as his number one with their history. I just think he's going to fall just a bit short. He's going to have a big chunk play. He might have like a 25, 32-yarder, but I think the rest are going to chip away but not reach 70.5 in that case. So I'm going to go with the under.
Okay.
But now the important thing is, will Mr. Swift score a touchdown in the game? Minus 105 for yes, minus 115 for no. So they're actually favoring him not to score a touchdown by a very tiny margin. I'm going to already imagine your answer is yes, he's going to have to, and I think he is as well.
So your answer is yes?
I think the answer is yes.
My answer is yes as well. Travis Kelce will have to score a touchdown for them to have a chance to win.
All right, and at the end of the game, will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift?
That is a big hell no. So next prop bet for all you field goal kickers out there.
Who doesn't love a good field goal? Nothing funner than those two words.
It's more enjoyable when they make it. I'm sure the Bills and the Packers both feel that way about field goals. But anyway, on there too soon. Total field goals made in a game by Jake Moody. He's going to be Moody if he misses, that's for sure. Over 1.5, plus 110. Under 1.5, minus 130. Mike, what say you?
You know, this is probably a sucker bet for me because I always take a kicker bet because it gives you something to cheer for pretty much throughout the whole game if you're taking the over. So I am taking the over, and spoilers might be my pick on Harrison Butker as well.
This game's an over, so it's in a dome. It's going over. I mean, there's going to be 2 field goals made minimum by Jake Moody.
And by Mr. Harrison Butker?
Harrison Butker over is even 1.5, under 1.5, and definitely because I think the good possibility that the Chiefs only score 2 touchdowns, but they're not going to be held to just touchdowns. I think there could be up to 3 field goals perhaps in that mix. I think they're going to be stopped a few times and held to field goals. So I'm going to go over for Mr. Butker at even money.
Agreed. I have to agree with you on that one.
Okay. All right, so that's for all you kicker lovers out there.
All right, we got one of the silly ones, I think, for our second to last pick for the prop bets is there's a bet for when will the first coaches challenge occur. So obviously first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, or will there be no challenge whatsoever? So the first and second quarters are paying 7-2, the third and fourth are paying 3-1, and just like a very bad blackjack table, the no coaches challenge is playing 6-5. So I don't even know where to hazard a guess, but if I had to, I would say more of the critical plays are going to come towards the end of the game, but they're not going to wait till the very end. I'm going to say third quarter.
I'm going to go with a coach's challenge in second quarter, 7-2. So I don't think anything will happen in the first quarter, but I think in the second quarter there will be.
All right, so before we get to the last prop pick, let's go to the Feathers expert analysis for the game itself. Line is currently been floating in a few places, but it's pretty safe to say it's -2 in favor of the 49ers, with the over-under being 47.5. So, Jason, your analysis of the game, which side do we take on this one?
The finale, the Super Bowl, the whole enchilada. I got a great pick for you. Okay, bottom line, it's a battle. Brock Purdy, who I believe should be the MVP, right now ahead of Lamar Jackson, facing off against Patrick Mahomes, prior MVP and Super Bowl MVP. The X Factor, Christian McCaffrey, is huge. I believe that the 49ers, on paper, on both sides of the ball, are far superior to the Kansas City Chiefs, no doubt. The problem is the Niners on the defensive side of the ball have fallen short for the latter part of this year, and I do believe that they are going to come back around and they're going to play the way they should be playing, and how they stack up on paper is what's going to transpire on the field for the Super Bowl. And Patrick Mahomes is going to be stumped a little bit. There's going to be frustration on the sideline. Bottom line, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get rolled in this one. Take the Niners. They're going to win by double digits this game. It's going to be a double-digit finishing win for the Niners. Don't even worry about it, 49ers fans. Sorry, Chiefs fans. Not going to be 2 in a row. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. This Niners team is talented on both sides of the ball, far more than the Kansas City Chiefs. And I know everyone on the planet that's taking the Chiefs is because they're scared to fade Patrick Mahomes. No, have no fear. You're going to be able to fade him this game. 49ers are going to get it done. 6-unit play all day long. Bet it. Feel good about it. Put it in the bank because it's going to be a W. Niners get it done. Double-digit victory. Forget about it.
All right, give him an unofficial on the over-under, 47.5.
Game's going over 47.5. Niners put up 30+.
So let's move on to the very last. Wow, it's actually going to be the very last bet we have for the channel for this season.
Yep.
We will be here doing a Super Bowl wrap-up, Super Bowl evening, but let's end it with, if you didn't watch our last video, we talked at length about the MVP race. Player to win the MVP of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, this one had to be the last pick of the day because otherwise I would be tipping my hand as who I was going to pick. And for me, it's very simple. Brock Purdy, he's the guy, Mr. Irrelevant. You know, people have been looking for reasons to knock him down a peg, underestimate him. You know, if according to crazy Cam Newton, he's just a game manager. But just because Cam Newton was a lazy-ass player in his Super Bowl and failed to bend over and secure a fumbled ball that turned the tide of the game completely, Brock Purdy's the exact opposite. He's going to get it done. Brock Purdy's going to have a great game. This is going to be stuff of legends. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey combo. You know, granted, a lot of people think Christian McCaffrey could be the guy for the Niners if they win, but I think it's going to be Brock Purdy to get the W. It will be Brock Purdy. The quarterback usually always gets it. It's just the way it is. Defensive players, the last time a defensive player got MVP was
Von Miller.
Of
Denver.
Going off, I believe, at 40-1. So 30 or 40-1. So it's going to be a Brock Purdy party. You know, it's only 2-1, so it's not like it's a long shot. But I'm going with Brock Purdy to get it done and close out the year. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I really thought you were going Dre Greenlaw, but I mean, I guess it could be Brock Purdy. He's had a decent season.
I was going to pick Moody, but I thought, that'd be a little bit far-fetched.
Has a kicker ever won MVP? No.
No.
The Giants should have given it to Scott Norwood. Be my last chance to get a Scott Norwood jab in at the Bills.
Gosh.
And thank them again for that championship in '91.
All right, so what say you on MVP?
No, it does seem to be typically the quarterback, so it's going to probably either be. Oh, here you go. I'm going to throw the Michael monkey wrench into it. If all of this is somehow wrong, and I'm on your side with the picks because I believe it too, not just because you said it. If the Chiefs should win, I think there's a good chance, and I'm not being a smartass here, that possibly Travis Kelce gets it, because that way, by proxy, Taylor Swift got it. And that will make all the Swifties happy, and merchandise sales will go up. And when it comes down to it, that's what the NFL cares about.
So what are you picking?
I would say Brock Purdy if the 49ers win and Kelce if the Chiefs win.
Okay, so your answer is Brock Purdy?
My answer is Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Sorry, I got more interested in actually talking about who could win it than their little
bottom
bet
line,
for you to wear your...
Travis Kelce's not winning the MVP. It's not going to happen. So, and there's literally a goose egg chance in hell of the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl this game. So, sorry, it's just the reality is what it is. I think the Chiefs were beneficiaries of situational football in the playoffs. Miami was crippled, like I said, on defense. They had 3 of their strongest offensive weapons beat up. They got the W in a cold-ass environment. Then they go to play the Bills. The Bills' defense was terrible. They were decimated. And, I think that led to the loss. I think it was more that situation. And I think that the Bills more gave that game away than the Chiefs took it. The last game for sure, Lamar Jackson played choke football like he does in the playoffs. The reason why he has only 2 playoff victories in his career. And he's probably about to be a 2-time MVP, which is crazy to me, but neither here nor there. But that was literally Baltimore going away from running the ball. Kansas City didn't stuff them. Baltimore just didn't have any volume when they're the number 1 rushing team. So, like I said, the Chiefs last year and this year found a way to just chip away and make dreams happen. But the dream is dead coming Sunday. Chiefs have 0 shot of winning. Brock Purdy, stuff of legends. There'll be a motion picture on this guy within the next 15 years.
All right, so before you guys tune out, bear with me a second because this is the last mainline episode for this season. Like we said, we're going to put one more episode out after the Super Bowl. We'll record it on Sunday night. It'll just be our analysis of the game. We'll see how much of this came true. As far as the results, we'll try and keep track, but you might hear more about that in a different video, or maybe at the beginning of next season. We will be back for the draft. We're going to, hopefully I'm not sick this time, we will live stream along with day one of the draft. That's coming up in April. And Jason and I will be back doing more or different things. We enjoy doing this. We have fun doing this. Want to get out finally and do more things for you. That's Las Vegas related, gambling related, and just having fun related. That will be starting up in March as the weather gets nicer. Hope everybody watching in California is safe from the floods. Remember, trying to get to 58 likes on this video and 600 subscribers by the end of the Super Bowl. It might be far-fetched, but so was a guy getting drafted 256 last year, playing for his first Super Bowl title 16 months later.
Absolutely. Please, guys, smash the like and subscribe button. It's always much appreciated. Love bringing you guys content. Let's go San Francisco 49ers all day long. Until then, guys, we'll see you soon. Take it to the bank. Boom.